Hey there, I'm going to share a little bit about what I've learned about how to stay warm at night on a long distance hike. And I want to start by sharing that I really do feel the cold everywhere. I always have at home like a million doonas on, and I was always wondering, what is it going to be like hiking out there in nature and not getting absolutely freezing cold in sub-zero temperatures? And I learnt so much about this through layering, and it has completely changed my life. And I realized that there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So the key learning I've gotten from all of this is about layering. So layering allows the body to trap heat within it, and it's so amazing how lightweight our clothes can be, but we can still be really, really warm with the right materials. There's 3 layers. One is the base layer, the insulating layer, and then the outer shell layer. So the first layer is the base layer that I'm wearing right now, and I'm wearing a merino wool thermal. It wicks the moisture away from my skin very easily. And the other tip is never to use cotton when hiking. I also like to use a headband, which is a nice fuzzy micro fleece material, and I've got a merino wool buff as well, which keeps my neck nice and warm. So that's my base layer. Then we've got the mid layer, or the insulating layers, and I wear 2 of those. So the first one is a micro fleece jacket, which is so nice and fuzzy and warm. It's got a 1/4 zip to just allow me to open it if I do get a bit hot. The other insulating layer, which is really important, is it's very lightweight. It's almost like you're wearing a doona. So it's a down jacket. And there's lots of different qualities of down jacket. You can research that anywhere on the internet. My down jacket is pretty high quality. I bought it secondhand. It's Arc'teryx, and it's 850 fill goose down, which is pretty good. I've also got a hood to keep my head warm because our heads dissipate quite a lot of heat. This is an amazing system, and I'm already sweating here in the daytime, but nighttime it's so awesome. The final layer is called the shell layer, which is the outer layer, and that's to basically protect us from the elements if it's really windy or if it's really rainy. So I've got a really high quality rain jacket, which allows me to just trap all that heat that I've been creating through these different layers in me. And for my legs, I've got a base layer, which is some merino wool tights and my merino wool socks. And then sometimes I wear my hiking pants, which are these, over the top if it's really cold, unless they're wet from the daytime. And for walking around camp at night, I actually have these really cheap, lightweight shoes. They weigh nothing. They cost about $5 or $10 at a store somewhere. And I use these for just walking around camp, going to the bathroom. They're really quick to put on and off. And it's much more comfortable than having to put on my wet and heavy hiking shoes from the day. So really recommend these guys. The final thing I have is also just a pair of thin gloves. They don't need to be thick. It just stops that kind of, that really cold factor from the tips of my fingers, because again, I really do feel the cold. So that's it. Remember, layering is super important. You've got the base layer, which is something tight, the mid or insulating layer, which is something fuzzy or fluffy, and then the outer or shell layer, which is something that protects from the wind and rain. That's it. Go hike.